Hello, hello. Come in, come in. Hello to everyone this evening. Come in, come in. I am still working on a few things with my setup for this evening, but for the time being, please do come in and join us this evening. How is everyone? Come in, come in. Y'all probably used to me being a little bit late, so hey, Miss Denise McIntosh, how are you? Oh my gosh, go get yourself something to eat. Terry Barnhill, hi. Miss Patty, hello from Pennsylvania. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, you guys. Hey, Miss Cindy, welcome. And Miss Patty, I don't think I've seen either one of you here before. Miss Ramona, Daisy Rodriguez, hello, hello. Come in, come in. Y'all, please excuse my daughter. Oh, cool. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thank you, Miss Candace. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Little Miss Boutique. Hello, hello. Francine. Well, hi. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have a oh my gosh, Justin, you're right. I've been stressing thinking that I am late. Hey, Justin, thank you. I appreciate that. It is 7 o'clock, not 8. Well, good. That works because I'm going to need this time this evening. So I am excited about what we got going on. Yeah, I didn't realize it was 7. I don't know. Oh, that's why, because I'm looking at my clock that I never fixed here in the studio. That currently says 7:56. Oh my gosh. But it's all right. It's all right. Because this is going to allow me to catch those that normally don't catch me at 8 o'clock. So, yay. Linda Hipshire, hello, Mama's Reviews. Well, hey, darling, how are you? Angela Thomas, thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome. Miss Denise McIntosh, yeah. That's just what happens when you get old. Sue Eskridge, Candace Smith. Oh my gosh, girl, go get something to eat. Raina, hello. Yes, you did catch a live. Yes, you will get roughly 2 hours, which works because what I'm going to do is probably save this live and then cut it and edit it so that just the needle portion is a video by itself. So, Raina, thank you, Raina. Sorry about that. And your Billboard pattern will be going out tomorrow. It will be going out tomorrow. Charmaine, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us this evening. You guys, how excited are you over learning about sewing needles? What do you think? Does it sound like something that you guys... Whoops, let me turn my volume down. That's not going to benefit y'all. Does it sound like something that you struggled with in the past, your sewing needles? Embroidery needles or machine needles? Well, hello, Dawn from Las Vegas. Hello, hello. I'm in here early tonight, 7 o'clock. Normally it's 8. I thought it was 8 o'clock. You've broken 3 in the last hour. Well, hopefully this tonight's live rather will help you. Now we won't be getting into that until 8 o'clock because that's what I posted was 8 o'clock, and I can't believe I overlooked that. So, but we'll get it worked out. I am getting set up. Needle talk is needed. Yes, I agree. And I have learned myself that I have been looking at needles completely wrong. So without the proper education, how would you know? So that's the whole point of tonight's video live. We're going to be discussing needles. How do you choose the correct needle for your machine? What do all those numbers mean on your needles? What do the different type needles, what are they used for? And frankly, do you need all of them? you know, because there are tons of different needles out there. I went to Joann's today to pick up needles for this video, and my goodness, there were so many needles available. I know, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types I picked up. So it would be nice to know which ones you should use. Hi, Will. How are you? I'm early, Will. Justin pointed out. I'm sitting here thinking it's 8 o'clock. Guess what? It's 7. That's what happens when you don't change your clock like you're supposed to in your shop. So, yeah. Yes, Miss Joni, I did say 8 o'clock. Again, I'm confusing people. I apologize. I was confused myself. Um, I am looking at my clock. You know what? I don't even want to show you. I have a little clock that I normally look at while doing our show, and my clock was saying 7 o'clock, and I was like, oh my God, it's 7 o'clock already. So I've been preparing for the video, not realizing that my clock was still an hour ahead. I didn't set this clock back, but I should have known. I should have looked at my cell phone, but I didn't. So yeah, it's been crazy. So I apologize for coming in early, but that gives us a little bit more time together. And Will, I want to put you on alert actually about something. If you see a Sukai Soil Kaze in here, that's my daughter. So she's constantly in here talking about food. So please do not block or ban her. I appreciate it. Even though I may block and ban her myself. But at any rate. So you said post the YouTube channel again. Post it where, dear? Because I don't know where you would like to see it. Thank you, Will. I appreciate that. And tell Miss Sassy I said hi. Linda Hipshire, you say you have a question. You need a good website to purchase fonts from. Okay. Miss Hipshire, it depends. What type of fonts are you looking for? Now, actually, I need to put a notice in here so that folks won't come in expecting to be talking about needles, and we're not talking about needles. So give me 1 sec to put that up. But as far as fonts are concerned, you your fonts, it depends on what type project you're working on, right? So if you're trying to get a project that is like a little teeny hand sanitizer holder and you need little small fonts, well, you have a couple of options available. For instance, Jolston's, I believe, is the name of it, and I'll come out and then type it into the chat. But they have fonts right now, 75 cents a font. And I use their fonts quite frequently. I've been using their fonts for a couple of years now, actually, and I have not had any issues out of their fonts. So you may want to give them a shot. Also, of course, you know the swirly girly fonts that I love so much, that you can get as small as about 1-2 inches and go up as big as 6-7 inches, are available at Stitchtopia. Actually, I think it goes to 6 inches. But they're available at stitchtopia.com, and that is in the description below. You can click that. Her fonts, I believe she constantly has a sale on her website. You can also go to Applique Corner. That's another one where I used to purchase fonts a lot. I kind of slowed down, but Applique Corner is pretty cool because they have little cards that you can, when you get the font, you can get these cards and print them out on like postcard size paper, and that way you know what fonts you have when you're trying to figure out a font to use, which I use this frequently for the fonts that I have purchased from them. I'll thumb through the book to make sure I have the font that I want, and I have them listed in there by print or script, And by size, the ones that I can get the smallest are towards the front, and the ones that are a little bit larger are toward the back. So that's another option, applique corner. And then Designs by Juju. She has quite a few fonts that are good, excellent fonts to use. No issues whatsoever out of her fonts either. So as far as Designs by Juju, Jolston's, and I'm going to look that up to be sure, and Stitchtopia, no issues out of their fonts whatsoever. Okay, so you can give those guys a shot. And see if they will have a font that you need. We will be discussing needles starting. Sorry, I can't type and talk. And because I came in early, I don't want to confuse people. Oh my gosh. Alright, come here. Drag you down. Whoops. Alright, yas. There we go. Yes, Stitchtopia is amazing. Her fonts are gorgeous. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. Who did I say? I said Jolston's. Let me check my email because I just got an email from them within the hour saying that their sale was still on. Yep, Jolson's. I'm sorry, Jolsons. Jolson's Design. So let me put this in the chat. And right now, yes, their fonts, if you buy 5 or more, you get your fonts for 75 cents each right now. So you may want to run and grab fonts because they have a lot of different fonts, and their fonts are awesome fonts. They're not trash. You know, I haven't had any issues out of their fonts whatsoever, and I've been using them for years. And their fonts are always affordable. So, because when I first came in to doing embroidery, one thing I will say, a lot of the designs, a lot of the fonts were expensive, especially starting out, because if you're doing this as a hobby and you're getting the little inexpensive 4x4 machine, you'll get shell shocked sometimes when you see the price of all the different things that you have to purchase to go with your machine. You know, you're purchasing your machine, your stabilizers, your needles, your fonts, your designs. I mean, by the time you start adding all of that together, you're like, wow, this is a lot of money to invest in doing embroidery. But that's also part of the reason why embroidery is so costly, why it does cost as much as it does, because there's a lot that we invest into it. So keeping that in mind, I was trying to find the most affordable options that were out there for me. That's how I found Sew It Pro. That's how I found Jolson's fonts, because their fonts were inexpensive. That's how I found Embroidery Library, emblibrary.com, because they would constantly have a sale every week. There's a whole slew of designs available for $1. At the time, it was like $1.19 a design. So it's like you have to think before just jumping in and starting to purchase a whole ton of stuff, and try and see if you can't find good deals and sales. So this time of year is excellent because everybody's in the shopping spirit. Everyone wants to make money as far as the small business person. And Black Friday this weekend, Small Business Saturday, and then tomorrow is Cyber Monday. So there's a lot of these sites that are going to have their stuff on sale. So keep that in mind while you are surfing. So I'm going to go back again for those who are joining us now. I am early. I'm in here early. We normally start off at 8 p.m. I jumped in early, unfortunately, but fortunately. So from 7 to 8, we're just going to hang out, answer any embroidery questions that you have. 8 p.m. is when we'll get into the information on your machine needles and how to pick the right needle for your embroidery machine or your project that you're working on. And we have some power packed information It's not a whole lot of information, fortunately, but we have some illustrations and things like that that are going to help you make sense of your embroidery machine needles and help you make a better informed decision as to what's the best needle you need to use for your project. So that is coming up at 8 p.m. But for now, we're in here a little bit early. So I forgot to set my studio clock back, and I was going based off of that clock. So that's why I'm an hour early. Miss Francine says you're a new subscriber. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I was amazed at the videos you have done. I need to catch up. I was looking for the video where you made the bib. The video where I made the bib is a little bit older video, and I'll see if I can't pull it up. It may be a little bit difficult with me being on here live, but actually I think you can type in baby's booty and bib and it should pull up for you the video where I made the bib on for the pattern, with the pattern. Candace Smith says, yes, I grabbed some embroidery needles and those are the ones that break first compared to the universal. So we'll be talking about that, needle breakage, and some things to keep in mind to help you avoid needle breakage. So we have information that very well could solve the majority of your needle issues and your embroidery issues, actually. So that is what we're going to be discussing at 8 p.m. Deborah Little, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Mama's Reviews. You laughing? You probably laughing at me. I know, it's just crazy. Oh yeah, thank you, Will, for letting him know that. Hi, Sheila Noel. How are you? Let me see. George Ward. Thank you for joining us, George. Appreciate you being here. Let's say you have several. They are all you offer to customer. Your Stitchtopia is all that you offer to the customers. I know they absolutely love it, right? Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll and fighting a little bit of a headache, so it's a little bit difficult. Sorry about that. Justin, thank you for your mug. You're welcome, my dear. I'm glad you like it. I had already ordered it. I really did. Candace Smith, you use Etsy for all of your BX fonts. I'm so excited. There are more options. And you can use Etsy. And there are quite a few fonts out there that are good, but I've gotten quite a few that are not so good. So just be cautious when you purchase fonts from sites like that. I know, if I'm remembering correctly, because as I mentioned, it's been a while since I've purchased from Applique Corner. But if I'm not mistaken, Applique Corner comes with the BX fonts as well. So you just use it if that's what you choose to use, or you can use just your regular fonts if you choose to use those. But yes, you can go to Etsy as well. Just be a little bit cautious when choosing a font. All right, because sometimes I've had instances where I've purchased a font and all of the letters except for a couple of them stitch out fine, and it's like months or whatever down the road, because when I first purchased it, you don't stitch out the entire alphabet when you purchase a font. So later on, and you don't stitch out all the sizes either. So later on, when you're doing a project and you pick that particular letter and now it's screwed or missing. I've had letters missing too out of fonts that I've purchased. So you just kind of have to be careful. And one thing's for certain, you definitely know that Embroidery Library or Stitchtopia or Applique Corner, Jolson's, companies like that will definitely stand behind their product. Whereas Etsy, you'll have to contact the store owner, wait on them to contact you, let them know what the problem is. Sometimes they're very helpful, sometimes they may not be. It just depends. But yes, you can. I have even purchased from Etsy for a font. Vera Benjamin, hello to you, dear. Thank you for joining us this evening. Suzanne, welcome. I'm glad you're here as well. I'm early. I came in an hour early, unfortunately. So I'm throwing folks off a little bit. They're like, wait a minute, why is she on? That's why, because I didn't change my clock. Jackie Howard, hello, how are you? Mary Brooks, hello, hello. Candace Smith says, yeah, need you as a personal friend. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I can be so many different places at one time, and I have a lot going on a lot of the time. So it's difficult to like tie me down and be a friend sometimes. So you can, my best friend usually pops in here in the chat if you ever see her, and she'll let you know that sometimes I'm not the best of friends. I don't answer the phone. I don't get to talk like I want to. It's crazy. So I have a lot going on at all times. No, sir, Mr. Justin, I do not want any peach cobbler. I don't eat that. And I've been doing better with my sugar, so I definitely don't want it. So, but thank you. I appreciate it. Sheila McMillan, thanks for sharing the font website for the newbies. You're welcome. You're welcome, my dear. Ethel Smith, hello, hello. Good evening to you as well. Miss Francine says you're very welcome. I did see the video where you showed how to get them the same size. The same size, it should be, that's the video, I'm more than positive. The only video I think I have on doing the baby bibs. Because I have a video on the bibs, a video on the binky leashes, and if it's the video of me sitting at the sewing machine and it's the bib with Mama's Kisses, I think is on the front of that bib. I think if that's it, then that's the bib video. I don't think I have another one. I'll have to check. I have so many uploaded now. It's difficult for me to remember exactly what I have, and I need to go back through and double check. There are some instances where I'm redoing videos and revisiting topics, so you'll see that as well. If you're one to go back through the playlist or go back through the list of videos, you'll see eventually I'm going to have to revisit certain things because some information gets updated. So we'll be doing that here shortly as well. We got a lot of videos going on. So, and it's about to be a whole lot more. I might need to make a whole nother channel somewhat for some videos, but we'll see how that goes. Let me see. Joni Thurman says you need to know how to take good pictures. Miss Joni, I am not the best when it comes to answering that particular question. Now, I can help you cell phone wise, and I actually have gone out in search of information on making sure that the pictures I take are well lit and how to do that, how to light my surface areas so that we get the best pictures, how to stage stuff and to make sure that all that looks good. So we've been doing, I've been out looking at videos on all of that. So I'm not the best, but I do love to take pictures, which is ironic. But I use my cell phone, actually. I use the camera on my cell phone. One of the most important topics or tips that I can give you, which should be common sense, but in some instances for me it wasn't, is make sure you clean the phone, clean that lens before you take a picture, because I'm bad about not cleaning that off. And there was a photographer guy, and he was like, no, 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 give me that phone. And he cleaned it off. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I was like, you know what, that makes sense. And when he took the picture, I was like, wow, my camera took that picture. Because my pictures were all fuzzy. Prior to, they were clear somewhat, but there was some fuzz to them, and I was like, I never understood or realized it was because I never cleaned off the cameras. So that's first and foremost. Make sure you clean off your camera. Then after that, lighting is key. So if you don't have good lighting or appropriate lighting during the daytime, take them out, not when it's directly sunny, but take them out and lay them out and take pictures. You can use easy things for backgrounds. I went to, I want to say it was Walmart. And was that Walmart? I think it was Walmart. I'm going to have to think on that and make sure I'm not telling a fib. But I went in the poster board section, And you know how you can go buy poster board, right? Well, in the poster board section, there was a poster board that looked like wood grain. I was like, man, that's pretty cool, because a lot of people who take pictures of their items that they sell in their little Etsy shops and stuff, it has that white light colored wood grain look behind it, and I'm like, were they using that poster board the whole time? So that's something really simple that you can use to take pictures of. And Amazon has a lot of backgrounds, small backgrounds that you can purchase to lay out your stuff. You've been using your cell phone as well, but just see some gorgeous pictures on people's websites. A lot of it is the lighting and the staging. It really, I you know, I don't know what phone you have, so let me not really go too much into it. But if you have, I know the iPhones, especially the last 3 years of iPhones, and a lot of these newer phones from the last Android, I'll say last 4 years, the cameras are awesome. They're really high quality cameras on our cell phones. And I know, like, this particular phone, um, I've been doing a lot more pictures and videos with this phone, and I am shocked at how advanced this particular phone is as far as cameras and pictures are concerned. So, if you have a, good quality cell phone, or, one of these newer smartphones, you have what you need. And it's crazy because a cousin of mine who is a photographer, he does take pictures professionally. He I was telling him, I'm like, oh, I love your camera. I want to get me a new camera, because I used to have a really high professional camera some years ago. And I was going to get another one. I was like, oh, I need to get another one. He was like, for what? Don't waste your money, $400 or $500 on a high end camera when your cell phone's resolution is about the same as a professional camera. Not like high end professional, but he was like, look at the megapixels on my camera and look at the megapixels on your cell phone. And he was absolutely correct. It was dang near the same, if not better, now with this phone. So you can use your phone. Don't even stress it like that. Just make sure the lens is clean. Make sure you got some good lighting, staging, as Jane mentioned. Jane Sublet, stand on a step stool and look down, take a picture that way. Whatever you need to do, because I've had to stand on a step stool as well, because what you'll find is sometimes when you're taking the picture, it'll cast a shadow, and you don't want that as well. And then sometimes using like a lamp over it will be too harsh. So there's a lot of different things. I'm gonna tell you what the best advice I can give you at this point is: go out on YouTube and Google how to take staging photos, or how to take good staged photos, or take photos of my products, something along those lines. And there are so many tutorials out there, and I just go through all of them, because this person may mention something that you need, but the rest of the information you may not need, or you may already know. But that person over there may give you information that you never knew. So, I just go through the different ones and kind of compile it all together. And that's where, I learned the best. So that takes time. That takes time, but it can be done. Bunny McMillan and Elaine Dickerson, you did not almost miss me tonight. Because I came in here early. I'm an hour early. Because I did not reset my clock here in the studio, and I wasn't looking at my phone. And I thought it was 8 o'clock, and it wasn't. It was 7, so I'm early. So you're early as well. So I'm gonna scroll back up and let's see where I got to. Deborah Little, you just subscribed also. Thank you. I appreciate that. New to embroidery, you're excited. Well, I'm excited for you, because embroidery is definitely contagious, and it is, what's the word? I'm losing my word right now. You'll get hooked. It is a passion once you get into it, once you get the feel for it and start making things, you just won't be able to get enough of it. So definitely welcome. And we apologize in advance for the habit that you're about to acquire and all the money you're about to spend, but that's a part of it, and how it works. So but definitely we enjoy you being here, and thank you for subscribing, because we are almost at 11,000, you guys. That quickly, we just hit 10 and already we're almost at 11. So that's really exciting to see. So I appreciate it. Mugs and coasters are available for purchase. As Will pointed out, we have these are super thirsty coasters. We hoop as a group, and the baby's booty, and we also have Carolina Thread Place logo on coasters that are available for purchase at CarolinaThreadPlace.com. Well, actually, Will, if you'll drop a link in the comments for them, please, I appreciate it. And if I'm not mistaken, are they on sale, Will, or am I remembering incorrectly? Let us know so you guys can do that. Jandino01, hello. I just purchased my first embroidery machine last week. Excited to learn from you. Well, Jandino, you just purchased your first embroidery machine. Let us know what machine you purchased. And I would say let us know what you named your machine, because in this group, we are the hoop group. And in the hoop group, we name our babies when we get them, for the most part. Now, you don't have to, but it's a fun part of making sure that everybody is come together and enjoying our equipment. So we name our babies around here. And when you get a new baby, we ring the bell and celebrate with you. So you have to let us know what machine you got, though, the model and type of machine you have, and we'll ring the bell for you. Carolina Thread Place, I have been on both sides of Etsy. Most of the designs that I have purchased have been great. However, I had one that the shop owner closed shop soon after I purchased, and it was horrible. I am so sorry you had to go through that. It does suck when you spend money and you can't get anywhere because it's just not right. So I'm pretty cautious when I get things from off of Etsy. Contessa Harris says, hello, everyone from Louisiana. Well, hello. Welcome from here at the Baby's Booty Studio. And while you're here, for those of us part of the hoop group, please drop a hashtag hoop group for me so that we can bring us all together, even though we're early. I can't get over that. I'm still tripping. And as you can tell, I'm kind of like off a little bit because it's throwing me off. I'm not used to being this early, but I don't know. Stupid clock. I should have reset it. Stupid me. I didn't reset the clock. But at any rate, Jane Sublet. Hi, everyone. Well, hello to you too. Evernim got my bib and burp cloth templates this week. Thank you. And hello, Miss Eve. You're welcome. I'm glad that you received them safely. And we look forward to seeing photographs of the projects that you make with them. I would love to see those, actually, please. Miss Eartha Lewis. Hey, love. Hi, Eve from Port Allen, Louisiana. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you very much. Mama's Reviews. What size hoop do you need for the bib? Okay, so Mama's Reviews, you don't use the bib pattern that they're purchasing with an embroidery hoop as far as making the bib in the hoop, right? But if you want to put a design on the front of this after you start making the bib, you can very easily do that. And the hoop size is pretty much going to depend on the size of the embroidery design that you're going to put on the front of it. So in most instances, when I'm doing a bib, the size hoop that I use is a 4x4. In most instances, I usually don't go much bigger than that, because kind of bigger than that dwarfs the bib and it's like overwhelming on the baby. So usually I use a 4x4 to put the design on the bib. But this pattern is to be laid on the fabric and then traced around so that you can cut it out and stitch your bib handmade yourself. So that's not necessarily for the embroidery machine. You're welcome, Miss Francine. Well, hey, Debbie Kid, how are you this evening? Hello, hello. Eartha Lewis says, you got your bib pattern on yesterday. I'm so excited to start on baby items for my new granddaughter due in January. And she is going to be snazzy, girl. We like when your hand makes stuff. It looks pretty. Patrick Quinlan says, look at me. I made it in before you logged off. Blizzard getting ready to hit. Not sure how long I will last. Wow. I am sorry about the blizzard. Because one thing's for certain, I don't want to be stuck in the snow anywhere. But good news is I'm early here tonight. So I normally don't come in until 8 p.m. I did not realize it wasn't 8. It was 7. I was an hour early. So I'm going to be here until 9. Starting at 8 o'clock, we will be discussing needles and how to choose the right needle. How do you know what these needles are about, and how to help eliminate some of this needle breakage that we have that's so frequent and common with embroidery. So there's a lot of really good information coming up, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you all. Candace Smith says, I do everything you do, but I'm a new business. I have done this as a hobby until recently, and I found you, and you have made my life so much easier. Well, thank you, Miss Candace. I appreciate that. The point was to make sure that we all understood what's going on in our studios, understand embroidery, find those little steps that make life easier, as well as share information that you may not have known. Because that's a story I tell quite frequently, that when I started, there really wasn't anybody to turn to that was willing to give any information. So when I found out information, first thing I would do is let people know that had the same problems I did when I first started. So definitely, I appreciate you letting me know that, because that is the goal. Joni Thurman, you have been using your cell phone. Okay, I did read that already. I apologize. Let's see. Let me scroll down. Bunny McMillan, good. I thought you started at 5 California time, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, normally I do start at 5 California time. Patty DeBias. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. Please let me know if I'm not and I'm butchering your last name. I apologize if I am. First time live, welcome. Thank you for being here. We always appreciate folks joining us in on our live sessions. We appreciate you all being here, because one thing's for certain, you're the reason why I'm even doing this, and you guys make this so worthwhile with your interactions. So please, if you're in here, don't feel ashamed about typing a message saying hi. We welcome that. If you have any questions, you're not going to be looked at as crazy for asking a question. You're more than welcome to do so. Now come 8 o'clock, I'm actually going to, limit any questions until after we're done, or, sporadic throughout what we're doing, because this is going to be a part of an educational video. So we want to make sure that the information is spot on without too many variations from it. So I'm going to have to stay on topic after 8 o'clock. But for right now, you're more than welcome to leave questions, and any other time you're more than welcome to leave questions. Candace Smith, you got a new brother, SE425, and her name is Penny. Well, thank you for sharing your new baby with us. We're gonna have to ring the bell for Miss Candace Smith. Will, where are the kitties? Make sure they're protected. So Miss Candace Smith, congratulations on your new baby. Congratulations on your SE425, Miss Candace Smith. We look forward to seeing all the wonderful projects that you and your new baby Penny will be doing soon. So thank you for sharing that information with us. Mary Brooks says, I was looking at the video on splitting designs and was trying to download the free design to follow along, but it tells me to contact us to purchase. Is it still available for free download? Well, my store will not let me list those for free. I do not know why. It has been so frustrating. So what I've been telling people who have reached out to me to get those designs is email me. Send me an email saying I would like to get those designs, and I will send them to you directly so that you don't have to worry about that. I don't know why I can't get it to do that on the store. It's very frustrating, but they are available, just not on my storefront. I don't know why they're doing that, which is ridiculous. I should be able to list stuff for free if I want to, but whatever. You're welcome, Mama's Reviews. Justin McCoy, thank you for hashtagging Hoop Group. I appreciate it. Mama's Review says Patrick must live somewhere between Illinois and Wisconsin. Blizzard warning there too. Oh my gosh. You guys, wow. I can't do it. I like snow. Not that much. Not blizzard status. Angela Thomas says your needles shed your threads. Angela, I have excellent information for you, and we will be discussing that starting at 8 p.m. Miss Social Deb, welcome, my love. Thank you for joining us. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is well. We are. Marianne Reddick, I know it's not 8 o'clock. My crazy self did not change my clock here in the studio, so when I saw what time it was, I immediately thought it was 8 o'clock when in reality it was 7. So I was an hour early. So you're not missing anything. We're just having light discussion. But starting at 8 o'clock, we will be talking about needles. Red Roses, you're welcome for your patterns. I am glad that you received them. Latasha, you're not late. Candace Smith, most of my patterns come from me buying them from Goodwill and tearing them apart. I need to get yours. They look fun. Candace, that was one of the things that I did not like about patterns, paper patterns, when you buy them in the store, is they tear, the plastic, especially if it's a pattern that I'm going to be using over and over and over. And part of my business initially was baby bibs, so I knew I was going to be making tons of baby bibs. So I got the idea to make a permanent pattern, is what I call it. It's plastic, and if you guys could see mine, I actually have markings all over mine to let me know how to line up the hoop, how to mark it to make sure that my embroidery is straight when I put it on, and where on the bib. I normally put certain embroidery designs that are common in my store, so mine is marked up, and you can do the same thing with yours as well. But that's the whole point, is to get a pattern that you don't have to worry about ripping to shreds. So but yes, you can get the patterns. They are available on my website, thebabiesbooty.com. Let us see. New baby scan C, Marilyn Allen says. Oh, you got the scan and cut? Is that what you're saying? If so, congratulations. Let me know for sure, and we'll ring the bell for you. Scan and cut, Annabelle. Well, we'll ring the bell for Annabelle. Woo! I'm glad I saw that. Annabelle, congratulations on your scan and cut. I do love my scan and cut, and I need to learn her a little bit better than what I've been doing lately. I've been like so busy. I haven't had the time to really dive into it, but I'm really excited about it. So we will be enjoying that soon. Miss Debbie Kidd, you got me jealous. I got my bib patterns. Thank you. You're welcome. I also got my new Graphtec CE6000 cutter on Friday. So yes, I am very jealous. We'll ring the bell for your Graphtec CE6000. That Graphtec is a nice cutter, girl. Congratulations. Yay. Congratulations on your Graphtec, Miss Ma'am. That's high-end stuff. That's the good deal. Bunny McMillan says, you have a question? Sure. Should I buy pre-wound bobbins or wind my own? What is the advantage of buying the pre-wound, and what do you do with all the empty bobbins? I see pre-wound bobbins reasonable in sets. Well, honestly, I use both. On my smaller 4x4 machines, I wind my own bobbins, but I wind them ahead of time. So technically pre-wound, so to speak. So I would wind my bobbins and put them in a bobbin holder, and then that way, as I need them, I just grab them and go. Because what I've learned, the good thing about the pre-wound bobbins is when you're in the groove and you're actually working and you're in the middle of a project, it sucks to have to stop and wind a bobbin. That is a royal pain. So what I tend to do is just go ahead, grab a bobbin, pop it in, and go on about my business. Now, I also, let me go ahead and grab this so that I can show you, because I do have a video on this, but I'll show it to you anyway, how I handle that. So what I have is, this is my pre-wound bobbins, right? So most of these I wound myself, and if I were to show it a little bit closer, you would be able to tell I wound them myself. So I keep them in this little spool holder, and that bobbin holder rather, and that is my pre-wound for my 4x4 machines, right? And when I'm done with them, I've dropped them in here. Now, if you'll notice, I also have some pre-wound cardboard. I don't know why I put them in there. I can't remember. But I normally don't keep those. I throw those away. But the pre-wound bobbins, I do keep my bobbins. Why would I keep those? Well, the reason for that is because a lot of times if I'm doing a project like a freestanding lace project, or if I'm embroidering on a towel, okay, so towels and freestanding lace, the back side of the towel, for instance, if it's a white towel, it's not that big of a deal. You do your regular embroidery, your regular white thread, put your embroidery on the front, it's white. It's going to blend in on a white towel. But if it's a navy towel, or if it's a burgundy towel, or a coral, well, that white thread, your white bobbin thread, kind of stands out on the back of that towel. So what I tend to do is I'll wind a bobbin with the same thread that I'm using up top. Now, normally bobbin thread is 60 weight, which is a lot thinner, okay, than your regular thread. Your regular embroidery thread generally is 40 weight. The higher the number, the thinner the thread. So when you get to 60 weight, then the thread is thinner, and that helps, you know, things move along smoothly in a bobbin with embroidery. But you can use 40 weight regular thread in your bobbin. You can definitely use that. It's not going to cause a problem. So I would tend to use the same thread in the top and in the bottom, so that the back of the towel matches, the back of the embroidery matches the front. And that is definitely what you want to do for your freestanding lace projects. You want the back of your freestanding lace to match the front. So all of those pre-wound bobbins that you're getting, especially if they're not the cardboard, you can't, it's very difficult, let me rephrase that, because I have done it. It's a pain in the butt. Your pre-wound bobbins, if they're this plastic type, easy to wind and get you your same color thread on that. But if it's the cardboard or just the little tube part, the little green tube, you're not going to be able to wind that and make another bobbin off of it. So that is why you would do pre-wound, and that is what you would do with the empty bobbins. Okay, well, and then too, let me also mention that on my 6 needle, I don't have a bobbin winder on that. From what I understand, I could purchase one separately, but it doesn't come with one. So I do need to use pre-wound bobbins with that one. So if I needed to wind a bobbin with the same color thread on that thing, it's kind of a little bit of a nightmare, because I use pre-wound bobbins, so I don't have the little plastic bobbins for those. Glenn F., first time I've caught you live. You and your channel has really inspired me. Well, thank you, Glenn. I appreciate that. I am more than happy to be of assistance to those who are trying to get into embroidery, or light crafting, or get any of your questions answered in regards to embroidery to make it easier for you. So I appreciate you popping in and saying hello to us all. Thank you. Miss Janie, welcome, welcome. Jandino, I purchased a Brother XV 8550D, and I have named her Ava. New subscriber too. Thank you for the live chats. We'll be joining on every Sunday. Well, thank you, Jandino, and we will ring our bell for your Brother XV 8550D. Congratulations, ma'am, on your new baby Ava. Thank you for sharing her with us. Congratulations on your new baby. So we look forward to seeing your baby's projects as well. We look forward to seeing all the wonderful things that you're going to be creating now in your studio. Oh, and your name is Judith. Well, thank you, Judith. I'm going to let you know now. I'm probably not going to remember your name, but I'm going to try. You know, once I see you more frequently, hopefully I'll get it. But I tend to forget names. I don't forget faces, but I'll forget a name. I'm sorry. Glenn says, off topic, if you don't mind, I have a brother, VM5100, and wanted to get a nicer digitizing software. Between Floriani, PE Design 11, and Palette 11, what are your quick thoughts, please, and thank you? Well, Glenn, unfortunately, my experience with digitizing software is quite limited. I have experience with SoArt, which is a part of a suite of software programs that I promote and sell, or that I'm a distributor for. But with SoArt, there was a couple of projects that I felt like I wasn't able to achieve the way I wanted to with the software that I was using, SoArt. So I went out and found another program, and that is the program I fell in love with. So I don't really have experience with Floriani or PE Design or Palette 11, because once I purchased Wilcom, so between Wilcom and SoArt, I'm completely satisfied with my what I'm able to accomplish with my digitizing software. So I apologize, I don't have any thoughts on those, but what I would definitely do is look at the things that you can do with it, the different options or stats and stuff with the software program, and compare them. Read your reviews, and make an educated choice from there. And also see what's more budget friendly for your pocket, because I know Wilcom in my instance was $1,000, actually $1,200, and that's not attainable for a lot of folks to pay that kind of money. But fortunately, they offered a payment plan, so I was able to make payments on it and get the software. But a lot of the digitizing software programs are quite expensive. So check your budget as well and see what is affordable for you. Because like SoArt is $75, but it could be limited based on what you're trying to accomplish with the software. Marilyn Allen says, trying to backspace, hit send instead. Early gift to you, Scan and Cut DX225. Well, congratulations. Let us ring the bell. Did we ring the bell for you yet, Miss Allen? I don't know. I can't remember. We're going to ring the bell anyway, just because we like ringing the bell. So congratulations on your brother Scan and Cut DX225, ma'am. You have fun with your Scan and Cut. Renia, I know I'm saying it wrong, my love. I apologize. Tonight I'm not really feeling my best, so please forgive me. I'm not getting things right now. You're getting the Scan and Cut 225 next week. Well, you guys are getting the bee's knees. From what I understand, that is an awesome cutting machine. I don't have the 225. I have the 250. 350. I have the 350. So, and I haven't had an opportunity really to get to know her very well. So, I know her a little bit, and the little bit that I do know I love. So we'll hopefully get to dive into her a little bit better. Janice, I just purchased a Brother 1050X10 needle machine and a Brother PE 770. Well, congratulations, Miss Janice Haynes. We need to ring the bell double for you. Congratulations. Well, I hope the cats are put up. Congratulations, Janice Haynes, on your 2 babies. So you're going to have to come up with 2 names for your babies. Your Big Boss 10 needle machine and your Brother PE 770. And we also look forward to your projects as well. Mama Mary, welcome. Yay, I didn't miss you. Hi, Eve. I got the Husqvarna Topaz 20 on Friday. I'm going to call her Via. Y'all, this bell is getting a workout tonight. Congratulations to you too, Via. Congratulations on your baby as well. Wow, y'all getting it in with your babies. You know what? And it's the holiday time, so I can understand that as well. Sammy Struns, you've busted at least 7 needles trying to stitch out a monogram. slow your machine down and have to hold your mouth just right, and so far so good. Well, Sammy, we're going to be talking about something that's going to appeal to you tonight. So we're looking forward to getting into that in about 4 minutes. So the needles is a huge topic. It's very important to embroidery, and I'm looking forward to sharing that information with you all, because I was floored when I got a hold to this information. Barbara Nance, hello, hello. Buddy McMillan, thank you for that information. Does the description box on the bobbins tell you if they are cardboard, plastic? Usually, yes. When you either look on the box or if you're ordering online, they will tell you that. Barbara Guthrie, well, hello, my dear. Good evening from Florida. No blizzard here? I guess not. Looking forward to your scan and cut videos. Well, we'll see. What I found is if I find someone else who has very good scan and cut videos, I'll kind of like link over and attach them to the channel and do it that way. So we'll see. I'm going to keep checking out the person that I found, and we'll see how it goes. And that is hilarious. Candace Smith, what do you think of Embroiderly software? I used it briefly, and when I used it briefly, I didn't care for it, but I didn't really give it a good try. Okay, so I try to be very fair with the things that I do and the software that I recommend and don't recommend. So if I haven't like really given it a good fair shake, then I try not to say don't get this or get that or blah blah blah. So I used it briefly, but then when I found Sew It Pro, I kind of like dropped it and didn't really continue to look into it. So I'll have to check into it a little bit more, but I know a lot of folks give it rave reviews. Okay. Joni Thurman says, you just purchased a Cricut and noticed that the vinyl world is on fire. People are doing more vinyl than embroidery. Have you noticed this as well? I have, but that's because it's easier to do. All right, it's super easy. Vinyl is. You can do so much with it and accomplish a whole lot more in a shorter amount of time and less investment. A cutter is way less expensive than an embroidery machine in a lot of instances. So that would be the reason why, I think personally. And it's more flexible, so you can get vinyl in more places easier. Like it's easier to do a ball cap with vinyl than it is with the embroidery machine, especially if you don't have a cap hoop. So you can get a hat heat press and press out a few hats with no problems whatsoever. So definitely that would probably be the reason why you see more with vinyl than you do with the embroidery. Carol Coleman from Detroit, welcome, my dear. Thank you for being here. Sheila Chan, I am super early. Super early. I came in at 7 thinking that it was 8 o'clock. So I apologize. And Miss Bickham, hi, honey money. She is here. Thank you for joining us this evening. And Tracy Jones, hello, hello. I am early, you guys. I came in at 7 thinking it was 8. And I was sadly mistaken. So I apologize for those who just came in and feel like you've missed something. We just been random chatting about different things, but we're about to get into needles now. So start over, yes, but I'm not going to stop this chat. I'm going to let it keep right on rolling. So I appreciate everyone that has joined us so far. And I'm going to do a couple of changes, not changes, but make a couple of adjustments on my side really quickly. So you guys, if you don't mind hanging on just a moment. Actually, let me do, well, I'm going to leave that. Okay. And let me get back to you guys on my chat. So how is everyone this evening? How is everyone? If you've enjoyed the chat so far, please give us a thumbs up. That lets us know that we're doing our job, helping make embroidery easier for you. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. We do live chats, supposed to be at 8 o'clock on Sunday. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But guess what? If you don't set your clock correctly, you're going to come in at the wrong time. So, but I'm early. I apologize. But 8 p.m. on Sundays, we do have videos. Also, we release videos periodically, which I need to get on a schedule, of helping out with Sew It Pro, as well as other embroidery essentials that we can do to make our embroidery lives easier. So thank you all for joining us this evening. All our favorite folks is coming in at 8 o'clock like it was supposed to be. Again, I apologize for being early. Maria Colin says, I'm visiting your family in Maryland. We'll tell the family we said hey. And thank you for letting you take a little bit of time away to watch us live and join in with us. I appreciate it. Miss Social Deb says, I like the scan and cut, but I prefer embroidery or perhaps even both. I do like both. And I actually, since I've added bling, I like that as well. So it's a lot of fun with all the different types of decoration that we can do with garments and bags and hats and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. Tracy Jones, hello again. Eartha Lewis, I have Embrilliance Essentials and I love it. Learned so much from Melissa with Designs by Little B because she uses the same software. And yes, that's why I was speaking about using the different software programs. If you have used it and it works for you, that's great. Please keep that up. I haven't had experience enough with it to say, yes, I love it. You should, definitely get it. But it has gotten rave reviews, so I'll definitely say that for it. But one thing's for certain, you have to go with what your budget fits. So I'm not sure how much Embrilliance costs, but if I'm remembering correctly, when I tried to purchase it, it was way above my budget. So that's why I ended up not getting it. Suzanne, I've added a scan and cut to your 2 embroidery machines this year and enjoying using all of them. Just wish your day job didn't interfere with your fun job. And I definitely understand that and can sympathize. Angel, hello, welcome. Tracy Jones, again, welcome. Jane, Valerie, hello. Leah Jones, Lisa Donnelly, Linda Hipshire, hello. And I want to say hi to everyone, but at this point, we're going to switch gears a little bit, right? So in switching gears, the number one thing that most folks have a problem with their embroidery projects and their embroidery machines are needles. And that's a major question. I mean, because honestly, you think about it, without a needle, you don't have any embroidery, right? You got to have it. So, in understanding that, how do you know what needle to choose? Okay. So, our discussion tonight is going to be all about needles. All right. So, I'm hoping you guys enjoy our visiting from Charlotte and Buffalo. We'll tell them hello up there with all that snow usually. So hopefully you'll enjoy our needles conversation. Thank you, Candace Smith. And we'll definitely go ahead and get this started. Now what I'm going to do is switch over to our opener. You guys will still be in here. I'm gonna go grab my needles, come right back, and then we'll jump right into it, because this is going to be a video by itself, standalone, to help those who want help with needles. So you guys are going to be part of my new needle video. So get your questions together and be sure to ask the questions that you think other folks are going to ask when they're newbies, so that it can help them out when they come and watch this video later on in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to this and let you guys help me kick off our video on needles. All right, so now what we're going to be doing tonight is discussing needles. So if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the comment box below. This is going to be recorded live. However, even after the live recording, if you have questions, you can still leave them in the comments and we will get back to you on your questions. Now, here I have quite a few embroidery needles here with me in the studio. Now, although I am showing this particular brand of needles, this is not the needles that I'm saying you need to purchase these. That's not the point of me showing this brand. The reason why I'm showing this brand is because this is the brand that was available at Joann's Fabrics and Crafts. And they actually had all the different types of needles. And look, it's so many different types. I can barely hold all of them together to show you, right? So when you're in the store and you see all of this, you know, it's like, oh my God, what do I choose? What do I pick? You have universal needles. You have stretch needles. You have denim jeans needles. You have embroidery needles. You have microtex sharp needles. You have metallic thread needles. And you have top stitch needles. So, out of all of those options, hopefully you caught them all. Put in the comments below which one you think you should be using with your embroidery machine. Was it top stitch? Was it metallic? Was it microtex? Was it embroidery? Was it denim jeans? Was it stretch? Was it universal? Or should you use all of them? So put your answer down below. Which one you think you should use, or should you just use them all? And we will get right into it. Now, I have a couple of graphics that's going to help us this evening with our discussion, okay? And it's going to take me a moment to get these pulled up because I came in early thinking that I had an hour. I had an hour to get all of this done and did not, but it's okay. So we're going to pull in our first image this evening and see if we can't get some questions answered. And meanwhile, Mr. Will, if you see any questions that can be answered right away, I would definitely appreciate it. Let me see. And I apologize for not having this ready, but one thing's for certain, when you're off your game because your time got messed up, it can bother you a little bit. So let me see. Oh, here we go. All right. Yas. Let's see. We're going to put this graphic up. And where is that? Okay, there we go. All right, now we are going to switch this over and I'm going to show you guys. Now, what it looks like is most of you say embroidery. Some of you say 7511. And I will let you know that although you're asking questions, and I appreciate it, we're going to get to the questions here in a moment, because what you'll find is 9 times out of 10, I will be answering your question in our discussion. So let me show you this here. And it's important that you know what these embroidery needles look like, what they do, and what they're for. All right. So the top one, as you see here, it says universal. Okay. Now this universal needle, as you see, the thing that's really important with it is there's a channel that goes down the front of this needle. There's 3 parts that are super important to determining your needle, right? The first is that point on the end, where it's your sharp point on the end, the hole that the thread goes through, and that channel that leads up to the hole and just past it, right? So the universal, as you see, it's pretty sharp, right? And it has a pretty decent size hole, eye of the needle, which is that's in the eye. And the point of the needle is not super sharp. It's a little bit rounded. That's your universal needle, and that's what makes it universal. That point, but it's a little bit rounded. That's why that's considered universal. All right, because once that point goes into your fabric, you don't want it to tear your fabric. So if you use that universal needle with the wrong fabric, say jersey knit, well, it's going to rip a hole or cut a hole in your fabric. All right, so t-shirts, onesies, things like that, you do not use just this basic universal needle. So when we come down to jersey ballpoint, look at the tip of that needle. See, it's rounded. It's a little bit bigger than the one just below it that says stretch. And it still has a decent sized channel, and it still has a decent sized eye. But that rounded point is what helps you with making sure that the needle does not cut your jersey knit threads. Okay. So this rounded point is a little bit bigger than the stretch, but they both have the exact same purpose, and that's to keep from cutting into your jersey knit or stretchy fabric. Okay. Now, just below the stretch needle says jeans and denim. All right. So with this one, as you can barely see, the eye may be a little bit bigger. Channel may be just a little bit bigger, but for the most part, they're the same. But look at how sharp that needle point is. That's because jeans and denim is so dense. That fabric is super dense. And it doesn't break apart easy like your jersey knit does. So that jeans and denim needle has to be sharp in order to get through that thick fabric. So that's what that particular needle is for if you're working with jeans or denim in your embroidery machine. All right. Then right below that is the Microtex and Sharp. Now notice how different this needle is from the first four. It's narrower, it's skinnier. And then look at the eye of the needle. It's skinnier. And the channel that is right there with the eye of the needle, it's skinnier. And then look at your point. It's super, super, super sharp. All right. So that is why that one is called the Microtex Sharp, right? Name explains it all. So that is a needle that would work for super fine fabrics like your super lightweight, maybe silks. I don't know why anybody would want to embroider on silk, but maybe something super lightweight like silk, or possibly linen. But your lighter, super lightweight fabrics could work very well with Microtex Sharp, especially if you're doing quilting. All right. Then below that is leather and self-threading. Those two we actually don't use with our embroidery machine in most instances. All right. So those are your options as far as embroidery needles, and showing you how your needles are, what they look like, why they're named the way they're named, to help you understand that's what your embroidery machine is using. Okay, so our next picture that we're going to pull up here in a moment, once I get down to it, is showing you the different parts to the needle. Okay, because I was using the wrong terminology and saying things incorrectly. So we want to make sure that when we're talking about our needle, that we are actually using the correct terminology. Okay, so when we're looking at a needle, you have your round side and a flat side. And of course, we know for most of our embroidery machines, we take the needles that have the flat side. So the top of this needle is called the shank. All right. Then down below the shank is the shaft of the needle. All right. So I was using the wrong terminology, but you do need to remember shaft. All right. Then going down the front of this needle is called the front groove. That is very important. So that front groove is important for you to remember. So you have to remember the shaft. You have to remember the front groove. Then you remember your eye, because the eye is just as important, and your point. But the point and the eye is important for you to know, but we're getting ready to simplify this all the way down. You guys are going to be so surprised once we simplify this for you. All right, so that's explaining the different parts to the needle. And the eye, as far as the eye is concerned, you need to know this as well. Okay, this part. So look at the needle eye comparison. A universal needle is on your left, I think. So the universal needle is the smallest eye. Then your next needle in the middle is the embroidery needle. And notice the eye gets a little bit bigger. And then look at this last needle. It says metallic needle and top stitch needle. Okay. So this metallic needle and top stitch needle, the eye is even bigger. Why is that important? Why is that important? Why do we need to know that? All right, so I'm going to show you why that's important. And forgive me for this particular picture, but I had to make sure that we got the point across when it comes to the shaft and the channel and the eye of the needle. Let me see if I put that picture here. Where is it? Oh, here we go. All right, so I see you guys have questions, and we will be getting to your questions here in a moment. I did notice that Miss Angel said she had to go. We look forward to seeing you next live, and we'll have fun the next time you are able to join us. So take a look at my crazy self. And you remember with that needle, there was a shaft and there was an eye to the needle. When you look at me sitting on this slide, I am what my best friend calls an earthy woman. I'm very earthy. But I fit on this slide. So imagine if that slide was the little teeny slide for little like 2-3-year-olds that you can purchase from Walmart and have the kids play inside the house on that little teeny slide. I would not fit. So the whole point of the shaft of the needle, machine needle, and the channel that goes down to the eye, and the eye of the needle is where I am on the slide, is where the thread goes for the needle. So just like I need to fit on this size slide, I fit in that size slide, the exact same way you want your thread to fit in the channel of your embroidery machine. You want that thread to fit in that needle. Otherwise, you're not doing anybody any good. Now, earlier, someone mentioned that their thread was shredding. All right, she mentioned it. Well, this would be why your thread is shredding, because the thread that you're using is bigger than the channel for that eye, or your eye is too small. All right, so just like for me, I need a bigger slide and I need a bigger opening for me to slide through. If that was like a tunnel type slide, I would need a bigger slide. Well, when you're embroidering, the needle is going up and down so much and so fast and stitching out, you need wiggle room for that thread to let it move about freely and not be bound up and shredding. So the bigger the eye of the needle and the shaft that fits your needle, the better the outcome of your embroidery. All right, so I'm saying all of that to say to eliminate a lot of your problems with your embroidery, you want to use the needle that is going to allow your thread the best room to embroider, the best shaft and channel for it to glide your thread through. That would be your perfect needle. Okay, that would be your perfect needle choice. So that being the case, how do we determine the perfect needle? We said that we wanted an eye that was bigger, right? We said we needed a channel that would fit our thread. So which one of these, let me make sure I got the right image up, because that's not the one I wanted to show. Which one of these, rather, I apologize. Which one of these needles has the bigger eye? Can you tell which one it would be? Notice universal is the smallest. Embroidery is next, a little bit bigger, but look, the metallic needle, the top stitch needle. Most of the professional sewers, most of the professional embroiderers, your commercial embroiderers, I'm talking about these folks that pump out 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 pieces of fabric and clothing a day. Those type businesses, they use the top stitch needle. Why? They use this metallic metallic needle, and the top stitch needle is the exact same needle. Okay, metallic needle and top stitch needle is the exact same. They use it because that eye is bigger and that channel for the thread fits. Everything comes together like it's supposed to. Okay, now I'm trying to make sure that I keep all of my information together, so I'm going to switch back to me to go back over this. Okay, just like me on that slide, if that slide was any smaller, I wouldn't have fit. So when you choose a needle for your embroidery, to make sure that that thread has plenty of room in the channel and plenty of room to play in that eye to keep from getting bound up and shredded, you want to use the top stitch needle or the metallic thread needle. All right, your top stitch needle comes in the different sizes. It comes in 70, it comes in 80, it comes in 90, and it comes in 100. Oh, that's US measurements. All right, so when you see 75/11, 75 is the US equivalent of the measurement of the diameter of the shaft, how big around, how fat that needle is. Okay, not the tip, not the point, but the shaft of it. How big that shaft of that needle is what the 70, 80, 90, and 100 is, right? So that being the case, the 75/11, 11 is European, so they use metric over there, which I feel is better, the better option. But over here, we don't. We use the standard measurement. Okay, so when you're looking at the needles, like here on this embroidery needles, down at the bottom, let's see if it focuses. You see where it says 90/14 down here? 90 is how big around this needle is. 14 is the exact same thing. It's how big around, but it's in metric type measurement. 90 is our measurement. Okay, so that's what that means. Those two numbers are the exact same thing. They're not different. It's just where you are in the world that makes the difference with why that's on there. Okay, so when you use your top stitch needle, top stitch needles come in all of the sizes. So why do we have the different sizes? Okay, So you have 7511 or 7011. Why do you have that? Well, your 7511 size needle is for your finer threads, okay? So things like your monofilament thread, super thin threads, your 60 weight embroidery thread, super thin. So that channel is made for your thinner threads. So if that being the case and you're using the thin thread, or sorry, the 7511 needle with your 40 weight embroidery thread, it's more likely to shred and break because the needle is not, the channel is not made for that size thread. It's made for 60 weight thread or your thinner threads like monofilament. Okay, so that's what your 75/11 needle is for. Your 80 size 80 needle is mainly for like your 50 weight thread, which is kind of in between. But the thread that really should be used with your 40 weight embroidery thread, which is the majority of the thread that we use, should be the 90 slash, I want to say, what is it, 14? Your 90/14 size. So your ideal size for your embroidery, what we normally use, should be 90/14. The channel is big enough, just like that slide was just big enough for me to slide down effortlessly without any issues. I wasn't going to get bound up. I wasn't going to get stuck. All right. Well, the top stitch has the bigger eye of the needle, right? The bigger eye. And then that channel, the 90 size shaft, has the channel that's just big enough. It's perfect for your 40 weight thread. So if you switch, if you're having issues, your thread is shredding, your thread is breaking, if you switch to a 90 size needle and a top stitch needle, let me know if you still have problems, because I doubt very seriously that you will. All right. So your 100 size needle. Why do we have a 100 size needle? Well, the 100 size needle is for your decorative thread. The shaft on it is bigger. So that's the needle that you can use with towels, jersey knit. I'm not jersey knit, sorry, towels, jeans, denim, that type stuff, because the shaft is bigger, so it can take more abuse. So your jeans, let me see, is that the one that I dropped on the floor? Probably. Your jeans, what's the size of this jeans needle? What did I say? Look at that. I didn't even know it. But it's a size 100 needle. That's why, because the shaft on it is bigger. So you could use the jeans needle for your jeans. I think this is a little much for towels, me personally. Your 90 size 90 needle is perfect for the majority of your embroidery. When do you change? Your first thing you need to know is, are you embroidering on stretchy knit fabric? Okay, if it's stretchy knit fabric, then all these different ones don't even matter. You're going to have to use a jersey knit needle. Okay, so that's a stretch needle, ballpoint needle, jersey knit needle. They're all the same blame thing, just about. All right, as far as terminology is concerned and what it's made for. So when you're looking for jersey knit embroidery, you need to change your needle. I'm lazy, and I've been in instances where I haven't changed the needle. And what happens is later on, the area around the outside edges of the embroidery start to get holes and stuff in them. And that's because I was lazy and didn't change the needle to a jersey knit needle. All right, especially on that 6 needle machine where I have to change 6 needles because I'm going to be embroidering a design with all those different colors. Change your needle. So your jersey knit needle, it comes in different sizes too. So if you're doing regular embroidery with a 40 weight thread, look for your jersey knit or stretch or ballpoint needle in what size carries that 40 weight thread. Size 90. So look for your size 90/14 needle. That's what you want to use with your 40 weight thread. All right. Sorry about this buffering. I'm showing a whole lot of stuff and pictures and stuff coming in. So hopefully that's going to settle down. I'm going to try not to be so much in the camera from this point forward. I may have to show a couple of other things, but for the most part, that's it. So I'm going to come up and answer some questions. I know there was something else that I wanted to mention, and we'll get into that here in a moment. But what size needle do you use with your embroidery? You would use a size 90 needle, 90/14. Remember, your 90/14 is the exact same thing. All right. So I apologize for the buffering. Let's see. So someone asked, I'm going back to the questions, and let me know if it's still buffering, or if that's better. Actually, let me come down so I can make sure I get to chat. The video is buffering. 90/14 for towels. Yes, it's buffering.